Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be going over some of my personal favourite local multiplayer games across both Nintendo and PlayStation as well as PC. If you're asking yourself what does local co-op mean, it's basically games you can play together in the same room on one console. But before we start, if you're new here, welcome to the channel, please subscribe, it really supports the channel. Kicking off this list, we have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, available on the Nintendo Switch. This is just one of those games that keeps on giving, particularly now that the Booster Course Pass has ended. We have a whopping 96 tracks to choose from. You can play together online, or you can play regular versus mode offline. This goes for racing as well as battle modes. Additionally, now there's an option to toggle which items you'd like to have activated per race if you play offline. You can switch things up by only playing with blue shells if you wanted to, but that might be pretty hectic. You can also play tracks in mirror mode or even in 200cc, which is pretty fast, and braking is vital, which is not something you typically need to do in other CCs, so it changes the way you play and approach certain courses. You can play with up to 4 people on one system, and it's such a great local co-op experience. The game has an incredible soundtrack and is filled to the brim with stuff you can do. Battle mode is back and has a fresh lease of life breathed into it since the game has been re-released on the Nintendo Switch from the Wii U. My personal favourite mode is Shine Thief, where you all rush towards a shine and whoever holds it for the longest amount of time wins. Mario Kart 8 has so much replay value, I never get bored of it, and that is why I would definitely recommend Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch. And now onto one of my favourite local co-op games, Sackboy A Big Adventure, available on both PlayStation 4 and 5, as well as Steam. I had never played anything to do with Sackboy before this, but wow, my mind was blown at the amount of creativity that's present in this game. It's a 3D platforming game, which is perfection in my opinion. Playing in co-op is so fun because you can slap each other or throw each other off the stage. There's a lot of customization with the outfits, and there's so many collectibles, or should I say collectibles, as they are known in this game. So as a completionist, I love games that have lots of collectibles. Some of the levels later on in the game can be quite challenging though. I love that there's different things that you can equip in different levels, from a boomerang to a grappling hook. The levels are so immersive, highly detailed, and play so smoothly. There's so much variety in this game. You get to ride on trains, go through levels that play real world pop music, and even step on honey, which lets you walk up walls in certain levels. The boss battles are very fun and creative too. Overall, my partner and I still hold this as one of the greatest and most enjoyable games we have ever played together. And if you've never played Sackboy A Big Adventure, please give it a go. What are you doing? You're missing out. Trust me. Moving on to It Takes Two, available on PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. This is another solely two-player game. You can't play the game alone. In this game, we follow Cody and May, who are having some relationship issues, and long story short, their daughter wishes to a book of love for them to fix their relationship, and they get shrunk down and thrown into a 3D platforming masterpiece, with each section having its own unique gimmick. Their playstyle changes with every section of the game. You play top down in like an RPG fighter mode. You can slow down time. You get to ride airplanes and even get guns at one point. The gameplay is always switching things up with so many creative ideas, but the foundations of it is that they have been shrunk down and the world around them is gigantic. At one point you even get magnets that represent how opposites attract. And what I love about this game is that the Book of Love comes to life and guides them through their journey, reminding them how one can't be without the other and that it takes two. Get it? The gameplay is so ridiculously fun. It can be challenging at times, but it's a good challenge if that makes sense. Not to mention the various mini games that are spread out throughout the game. You can even go back and play these at any time through the main menu. If you want a great story-based local co-op game with excellent 3D platforming, a lot of charm, funny moments, amazing level design, and fun commentary, this is the game for you. Not to mention, it won Game of the Year in 2021. Up next, we have A Way Out, which is available on PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam. This is a solely two-player experience and can't be played alone. The story follows the lives of two prisoners known as Vincent and Leo. The pair have a very interesting dynamic, and the different situations you are thrown into are very cool. They both share a similar interest of getting to the antagonist known as Harvey. The split screen allows you to see different things play out at the same time and makes for some very intense moments. The gameplay is also super fun. You rely on one another to progress through the story. The game includes plotting an escape from prison, fist fights, stealth approaches, high-speed chase scenes, and epic slow-mo moments. The story is very good, and things unfold that you wouldn't necessarily expect, but I'm not going to say too much in case you've never played it. It's not the longest game ever, but it's definitely a great time, and I would highly recommend it. If you enjoy 3D co-op narrative-driven games, it's jam-packed full of action and constantly keeps you on edge. And now onto one of Nintendo's greatest 2D platformers, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, available on both Wii U and Nintendo Switch. Now it may be quite challenging for say the casual gamer, but it's still a super fun experience. The levels are so incredibly immersive. The minecart and rocket levels are definitely some of my favourites. When playing in co-op mode, these types of levels are so much more hectic. The boss battles are so well thought out. It's one of those games that are somewhat challenging, but they're also fair with their level of difficulty. I have quite a bit of gaming experience, so this wasn't too challenging for me. Some of the bonus levels definitely put up a challenge for me though. This is a great local co-op game. If you've never played Donkey Kong, I would highly recommend it. You'll have a blast playing this if you like platforming games. And of course, Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii or Wii U, I'd praise just as highly as Tropical Freeze. I like that there's also different characters that have different abilities. So Diddy Kong lets you float with his jetpack. Trixie Kong uses her hair to do like a mid-air double jump, and if you're playing co-op mode, you can push a button which allows player 2 to sit on player 1, Donkey Kong, and you can basically carry them through the level if they're having a tough time. Every level is very detailed, from the things in the background to the things in the foreground to the stuff that's happening on stage around you. Particularly the minecart levels, there is so much going on in the background, and I think it's done in a way to like put you off, but they're very fun to play. Up next we have Overcooked, available on pretty much every platform. There is also Overcooked 2, but my favourite has got to be Overcooked All You Can Eat, because it includes both games as well as all the extra and bonus levels from all the DLC packages. This game is so ridiculously outrageous and fun. Playing co-op is so frantic. You're tasked with cooking meals for customers in the most wacky kitchens and environments. The game throws literally everything at you to fail, from distractions to obstacles getting in your way, to the actual kitchen setting on fire to the point where you have to run to get a fire extinguisher. The key to success in this game though has got to be communication. Without that, you would definitely fail. It sure puts your teamwork to the test. I've had so many funny moments come from playing this game, as well as a few arguments. Not to mention, the game has so many levels and worlds, different themes such as American or Asian cuisine, and there is a big character roster, so there's plenty of chefs to choose from and play as. Overall, the game is so fun. Even after completing everything, you can always go back for some more co-op madness, especially when you unlock the special levels. If you've never played Overcooked, I would highly recommend trying it out. Now let's move on to Super Mario 3D World, available on the Wii U, but also re-released on the Nintendo Switch. Wow. When I first played this game, I was shocked how it felt like it never ended. There's so much post-game content and lots of bonus worlds. There's also a lot of collectibles in this stunning 3D platformer. And if you want to get to the difficult final world, you'll have to get every green star and stamp in every single level, not to mention having to complete each level by touching the top of the flagpole as every playable character. So yeah, there's a lot to do if you want to unlock and fully complete this game. It's a great local co-op game with a lot to do. It's not one of those games that you can complete quickly. It requires you to replay levels. Some may view that as a negative, but I think it's great. Also, each character has a unique trait to them which changes how they play. Mario is a general all-rounder, Luigi can jump higher, Princess Peach can float, Toad can run quite fast, and the last character that you unlock has a special gameplay difference, but I'm not going to spoil that for those that have never played it. I mean, you can turn into a cat and climb. What's not to like? The levels are so colourful and charming, and some in particular are so fun. I love the levels with Plessy, I think he's so cute. I also love the details in this game. I like being able to pick up and throw snowballs, ride in a boot over solid ice, or even go inside a Koopa's shell and whiz around. If you've never played it and have a Switch, I would highly recommend it. Moving on to Luigi's Mansion 3, available on the Nintendo Switch. In this game, Luigi gets a mysterious invitation to go on a short break at a luxurious hotel, and he brings along Mario and friends. However, the stay quickly turns into a nightmare as King Boo is awaiting their arrival and traps everyone in paintings. It's down to Luigi to work his way through each floor of the hotel to reach King Boo at the top and save the day. About an hour into the game, you unlock Luigi. This is like a goo version of Luigi, who can go through spikes or even slip through grates in the wall. And the best part about it is he can be controlled separately by another player. So this local co-op experience allows for up to 2 people to progress through the story together. The setting of this game is so highly detailed and exciting. Each floor has its own unique theme and boss. As you scale your way through the giant hotel, you come across ancient Egypt, filled with mummies and traps, a gym with a swimming pool, a greenhouse with evil plants, and even a club with a dance floor. Overall, this game is always switching things up. Playing in local co-op is so exciting, not to mention the various mini-games that are also available from the main menu. Up next is Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U. Wow, this game is fun. There's a lot to do in this game, especially from a collectibles point of view. Collecting all the yarn pieces in every level allows you to obtain new skins, and you get to customize how your Yoshi looks. And there's a lot of them, by the way. The latter levels can be quite challenging, especially the bonus ones. I think in local co-op it makes for such a great time, considering the fact that you can eat each other and it can lead to either laughs or arguments. In my case, it ended with a mix of the two. Now there is a newer Yoshi game on the most recent console, being the Nintendo Switch, called Yoshi's Crafted World. It's fun, but personally I think Yoshi's Woolly World is a whole lot better. I find the boss battles very fun and engaging, particularly the naval piranha plant. Another reason why this game is so fun to play is the cool transformations. You can literally become a mermaid, an umbrella, a motorbike, or even a gigantic version of Yoshi, plus more, and you play these in like little mini game sections, and if you do it correctly, you're rewarded with a smiley flower, which is yet another thing you need to collect a bunch of per level. So if you're a completionist and you like collecting stuff like collectathon games, this is definitely the game for you. The platforming is so fun, and the different concepts that are given to you in each world are very cool as well. And now onto the latest 2D Mario Brothers game, being Super Mario Bros. Wonder, available on the Nintendo Switch. This game was so needed, and let Nintendo fans know that the company plans to take a new direction for the 2D games going forward. Of course, the plumber himself came from a 2D game. There was a time when the new Super Mario Bros. Games became so repetitive, bland and lifeless, but then came along this. Playing this with my partner or with my brother has been so immensely fun. Every level has a unique effect that will happen when you touch the Wonder Flower. You never know what you're going to get, and that makes the game so exciting. There's so much more depth to this game when compared to the past few installments in the franchise. The animations are perfect, and the level of creativity is off the charts. We know that Nintendo actually said to the developers of this game that they had no time limit, so nothing was rushed or cut from the final game, and it definitely shows. It's so polished and it's an absolute blast to play. My only dislike about Super Mario Bros. Wonder would have to be the boss battles, as you only really fight Bowser Jr. over and over again, just with some slight changes. If they had taken a page from Yoshi's Woolly World, perhaps the boss battles would have been a bit better. Moving on to Mario Party. My favourite Mario Party has got to be Mario Party 8 on the Wii, but can also be played on the Wii U. This is the first game in the series that I played. It's one of those games that you can always go back to. The boards are so unique and fun. They have more to them, other than just getting stars from a predetermined location. For example, the board Koopa's Tycoon Town, you get to buy hotels, and by contributing more coins, you can upgrade the star value of the hotel. And in King Boo's Haunted Hideaway, the board is like one big maze, and the first to find King Boo gets a star. I think some of the newer games aren't as good, but I really enjoyed Mario Party Superstars on the Switch, where we get a return to the classic style of Mario Party with remade boards and minigames from way back in the franchise. Overall, I think pretty much any Mario Party is always a super fun time. And there you have it, some of my personal favourite local multiplayer games. Let me know down below if you've got any that I didn't mention in this list, or that you would recommend. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.